6 months ago to the day, right here at this bus stop, my boyfriend was stabbed and killed. There are no vehicles here at this time of night. Even here in the heart of the city. No people either. The rain is my company, as are the blinking, glowing lights ever neon, that send out their colors across the road and the glass and the puddles in ethereal washes and waves. I lift my gaze and look across the street. The rain-soaked road shimmers in shades of yellow, teal, and pink, with flashes of green and orange. Occasional drifting red or blue. He was mugged, gave up his phone and wallet, then tried to prevent the guy from doing the same to somebody else. Some young woman. The details aren't even important, really. I've been through them all hundreds and hundreds of times in my head, and each time the outcome is the same. Tristan taking his final breaths, rasping as he collapses to the ground and bleeds out over the concrete. It's gonna happen again right now. I check my watch. In 3 more seconds. I'm sat at the bus stop and I turn my head to look to the right. Tristan shimmers into view and my heart pangs dreadfully, as it always does. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. There he is, a watery, shining, and silvery being. Translucent. He can't hear me. He can't see me. It always starts the same. He's listening to music. He looks so peaceful here. I wonder what he might be thinking about. He has a rose in his pocket. He looks down to it and, with his tongue sticking out to one side, cautiously and carefully adjusts it. My pulse races. This is where the atmosphere changes. I watch as he looks up in surprise. As he is engaged by the mugger. I can't see the mugger himself, only Tristan, but the situation is plain on Tristan's face. And besides, I've seen the CCTV. I know how it goes down. He speaks some silent, voiceless words as the rain falls. As he narrows his eyebrows and regards the mugger with caution, with care, with disdain. I watch as he is provoked. As he steps to the side and puts out an arm. As he attempts to defend the young woman he is with. I watch as he holds out his forearms, using them as makeshift shields. As they are slashed by the assailant's knife. I see the fear, the determination in Tristan's ghostly face as he fights, as he struggles to bring down the attacker, as he silently shouts for the woman to get away. A vein bulges in his neck and the knife is forced into his chest. He gasps and it goes in for a second time into his stomach, then for a third. I watch as he staggers and collapses to the road. The rain falls right through him and he makes no splash as he lands in the shimmering puddle by the curb. He lays there, his ghostly body fading in and out of sight, before he falls totally still and the vision is lost. Lost until tomorrow night when it will be back. When he will be back. Same time. Every night. Over and over. Over and over. I used to think it meant something, that I was being shown a clue. That Tristan was trying to communicate with me from beyond the dead. No one else can see it, of course. Just me. Classic. I got so angry. So desperate. So hopeful. So bitterly, bitterly hopeful. But night after night, week after week, month after month of trying to save him. To learn the meaning behind the vision, this echo of his death, I just gave up. My soul may as well have left my body. It doesn't mean anything. The echo's purpose here, if any, is to taunt me. Or maybe it's just a glitch in the system. Who knows? Who cares? I don't know why I still torture myself like this. Yes, you do, Imogen. You come here to watch him for that first minute. That brief little window when he's listening to music. A lump rises in my throat, as it tends to do when I dwell on the subject for too long. You come here to see those moments of blissful peace, to wonder what song he might be listening to. As for me, I'm listening to a version of Wicked Game this evening, and I'm imagining that Tristan was listening to it too. It's a good song. Sad, but peaceful. You should check it out if you don't already know it. Thunder rumbles and rolls softly across the distant sky. I look up, but there is no lightning here. Only the steady, breezeless rain and the blinking lights of the city. I see one of the specters above me, hovering there above the road, between the towering buildings and the neon screens and signs. An ad for Coca-Cola rolls across one such screen in shades of faded white and glowing red, and these colors dance across the specter's ghostly, flowing body. The specters used to scare me too, back at the beginning. Now they don't. They don't do anything. Picture a snake, a king cobra, ideally. You know those snakes? They have the hoods. The specters look kind of like giant cobras, roughly human size, and made of smoke and liquid wind. Dark and shadowed. I don't know how else to describe them. They are featureless, eyeless. But I get a sense that they're watching me, nonetheless. There are 3 of them tonight. Sometimes there's 4. Sometimes 2. Sometimes 1. They hover in the air and then, after a while, they just drift away. I never see them arrive, as such, but I can expect them to always show up as the play-by-play of my boyfriend's death is performed for me at the bus stop. I look back down to the ripples and reflections on the road and chew the skin around my fingernails, gnawing softly, trying to push away each and every thought that intrudes upon my mind. Impossible, of course, but I try regardless. The specters start to turn. They're gonna glide away now and disappear from sight. I note that for the 3rd night in a row they're taking the same route, drifting past a faintly, almost imperceptibly buzzing billboard and behind a towering skyscraper at the intersection. Curious. Follow urges a voice in the back of my head. I ignore it. I can't listen. I daren't get my hopes back up. My heart can't take it. I can't bear the thought of hoping for meaning in this senseless hell. Follow. Don't make me, I whisper, a lump rising in my throat. Follow Imogen. And so I pull down my sleeves and pull up my hood, and with a tremendous exertion of will, I rise. Hope wins again, I guess. I despise it. I hate it, but who even cares? I may as well follow. I have nothing to lose tonight. Let's see where we end up, shall we? So I cross the road. I don't bother checking to look for traffic. There are never any cars at this time anyway. My feet splash through the water and the colors of the lights are sent out in circular ripples from the steps of my shoes. I lift my gaze and squint through the rain. I catch the shadowy tail of one of silent specters drift down a parallel street at the end of the road, and against my better judgment I hasten after it, suddenly fearful that I might lose its track. Through the city we go, between the lights and the quiet, sentinel lampposts. Where are you taking me, specters? I murmur aloud, but they don't answer me. I wouldn't expect them to anyway. I am gradually led to another road not dissimilar to the first. A burger joint with faded paintwork but a flashing orange sign stands directly ahead, on the corner. The rail of the overground train winds its way between the buildings to my left. Steam drifts lazily from a vent near my feet. And over to my right is another scene. Another ghostly, shimmering scene, playing out right there on the street. My blood runs cold and my adrenaline surges at once. This is new. I've never seen another ghostly scene before. The one featuring my boyfriend's death has always been the only one. I thought it was unique, but that assumption is promptly shattered as the specters drift through the air above. The scene ahead depicts a girl a little younger than myself. She's on her phone on the sidewalk. She keeps looking up to somebody I cannot see, talking words I cannot hear. What is this? I ask aloud, to no response. The girl turns to face her invisible partner, a silhouette of wispy, silvery light, and I watch in horror as she is struck by something large and fast. It's difficult to say what it is, but my best guess would be a car, careening from the road and across the sidewalk. Her ghostly body is thrown back and hard against a lamppost, and she crumples to the ground, her neck clearly broken. I wipe the water away from my fringe with a trembling hand. "Why are you showing me this?" I ask in a whisper, but the specters do not respond, and when I look up to them I see that they have gone. The rain falls around me, and I close my eyes, allowing it to wash over my skin. When I open them, the ghostly girl too has vanished. There's nothing else out here for me tonight, and I'm on my feet. I might as well just walk home. Asterisk. My dreams are disturbing and sad. I awake in my apartment the next day to find that the rain continues. It washes down the side of my only window. I lay there for a further 85 minutes before I get up. My sheets reek. I'll clean them tomorrow. I very rarely leave the building whilst it's light these days, but something compels me back out onto the streets today. Perhaps it's the haze, my desire to walk in the rain. Who knows? But out I go. I wearily grab the first coat that I can find in my room and I head out, walking the streets with my head down, breathing in the cool city air. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just following my feet. I need milk. I guess I'll stop by somewhere and pick some up. I trudge onwards, gnawing a little at my fingernails. I don't go to my regular place. I go a little further. I walk a different road, and before long I realize that it's one I recognize. It connects directly to the place the specters brought me to last night. I stop and look around, faintly bemused. What an exciting twist of fate. I mutter to myself, deadpan, looking over to the spot where I saw the ghostly playback. Over by the burger joint, and I freeze. That's her. She's right there. The girl. Fuck. And she isn't a ghost, or a silvery wisp of light. She's a human, alive, flesh and blood. I start to panic. I don't know what to think or how to act. It's definitely her, but in full color this time. Standing in the exact same spot, going through the motions. She's on her phone, occasionally glancing up and talking to her friend. Oh my God. The car. I hear it before I see it. Careening wheels round a corner, unseen, and I don't fuck around. With a burst of sudden, frenzied energy, I leap from my position and race the length of the road towards her. I can hear the car skidding down the road towards us, the engine revving louder and louder. The girl looks up to talk to her friend, completely oblivious of her surroundings, and I barrel right into her, bringing her down to the ground with a grunt of alarm and covering her with my body as the car slams into the curb behind us and flies right overhead, little shards of glass raining down all around. I hear shouts and screams of surprise through the rush of blood in my ears, and after a final screech and a metallic crash there is suddenly silence. Quiet. It hangs in the air for a moment before I clamber up and away, staring down at the girl on the ground. And she stares back up at me, chest rising and falling, in shock but alive. Others come to our aid at once. Someone calls an ambulance as a crowd gathers. Someone puts their hand on my shoulder, but I shrug them off. I turn and start to stride away, steadily at first but then faster. I hear a voice that I presume to be the girl's. "Hey!" she shouts after me. "Hey, wait!" But I do not. I do not wait. I just run all the way home and slam the door shut behind me, tired and stressed, struggling to mentally process the implications of my interaction. I look down at my hands to see that they are shaking. Breathe, Imogen. Breathe. It all happened so fast. Fuck. I yank back my hood and run my hands through my hair. Did I just save her? Did I just save that girl's life? The ghosts. So they can show me things that are yet to happen, and I can change them, I can alter the outcome, and there it is again, that sickly sweet blast of hope. And I don't bothering trying to resist this time. Fuck it. It's a delicious, dangerous drug and I inject it directly into my veins. Maybe Tristan can still be saved. Maybe I can change what happened. I await the night, my emotions going round and around. But when darkness falls, I head back out through the streets. As the lights glow and hum and the cars dwindle until the roads are empty, I return not to the bus stop, to the site of Tristan's death, but to the street corner by the burger joint, and it is here I find the specters. I look down at my watch. The minutes tick by, and I await the moment that the ghostly girl is due to appear. And of course she does not. Why would she? I saved her. I prevented it from happening. I stare up at the specters, hovering grimly in the air above, and I throw out my hands. I can save him, then? Can I? I've asked you before and I'll ask you again. I shout. Can Tristan be saved? Please. Let me save him. The specters are silent in their response, but one by one they begin to drift away down the roads, down a new path between the neon lights, and I set off in quick pursuit, my jaw set. They lead me through street after street till we come to the walls of a pharmacy. A glowing green cross with a couple of damaged LEDs hums softly overhead, and I see the third ghost, an elderly lady walking along the sidewalk. Nothing seems out of the ordinary here, but I brace for some terrible shock, watching anxiously as passes me by. The edges of her silvery form dance and drift in the rain, and as she reaches up for the crosswalk button, she suddenly jumps and clutches her chest. She stumbles from the curb to the ground, rasping and wheezing silently before dissolving into silvery steam. Okay, I say out loud. I get it. You're showing me things yet to happen, so I can stop them. I can stop them all, specters. And if I do, you'll bring back my boyfriend, right? You'll allow me to save Tristan too. But the specters don't answer. As with before, they have simply vanished. Vanished into the rain. I look down to my watch. 2:15 a.m., and I try to remember the timings of the previous events. Tristan's death takes place at the same time every night. The time was the same for the girl, too, but it happened in the day, not the night. So 12 hours, then. I get 12 hours warning. At 2:15 tomorrow in the afternoon, I will return to this spot. And return I do. With newfound purpose I wait for her here. For the elderly lady in the urban haze of the afternoon. And as sure as the neon glows, there she is, hobbling peacefully down the sidewalk towards me. Excuse me, I say to her before she has a chance to reach for the crosswalk button, and she looks up at me. Would you like some assistance crossing the road? I ask her. Oh goodness, that would be lovely. She begins, as a car honks its horn on the opposite side of the street, loud and sudden. Her words are caught in her throat and she clutches her chest at once in surprise, though this time I am here to hold her, to help sit her carefully down on the bench nearby. I am able to tell someone to call for an ambulance, and they do so, and I stay until the paramedics have taken her away. But she was in decent spirits as they loaded her up. She smiled at me. She gave me a wave as the doors were closed. And so, just like that, I save another. This becomes a routine. Every night I head to the previous place. I wait for the arrival of the specters in the rain. I follow them to their next location. From ghostly vision to ghostly vision, and every subsequent day I return to that same spot and prevent the tragedy from ever occurring. It becomes my drive, my purpose. Every night the rain falls, and every gray afternoon I save a life. Each one later in the day than the previous. I prevent a cyclist from being struck by a car with a simple wave of my arms. I save the life of some idiot vlogger, doing pull-ups off the edge of a balcony by shouting into his face. I spend an entire night talking to a young man on the edge of the bridge, listening to his life, and convince him to give tomorrow a try. I never falter. I never screw up. I am always planned and prepared. With a careful word of caution, I prevent a policeman being shot in the chest. I stop an accident by preventing a drunk driver from returning to his vehicle. And I stop a little girl from running out into the road. As I said earlier, each vision is shown to me a little later in the night. That last one, the one of the girl I saw at 6:31 am. A minute before sunrise, and surely the final vision of these night after nights. The specters never drift during the day. So when darkness falls again, I head not to this spot, as I have done before, but to the site of Tristan's death. My go-to. I wait bitterly for the sequence to begin. And yes, there in the neon-washed darkness he shimmers into view. My heart hurts as I watch him listen to his music. His final song. I shout up into the air before I even see them. To the specters. I know that they will be there. Watching. Okay. I shout, turning around in a circle in the middle of the road. I did it. I followed you all the way through the night. How many people have I saved now? 30? Or more? I laugh. It's a mad sound. That's it, right? That's all. I did it. I did what you wanted. Now help me save Tristan. Silence. As they hover in the gloom and the falling rain. I laugh a little louder, screaming now. Help me save Tristan. Tell me that he can be saved. Let me change this one. Let me change just this one vision, and I'll save 1,000 more. I promise. I begin to sob. Please, tell me he can be saved. It has to mean something. Something has to change. I drop to my knees in the road with a splash, hands to my face. I can feel the presence of the specters, dark and silent above me. Why are you putting me through this? Please, just let me go. Let it end. Please, I whisper through tears. Please. They can't bring me back, Imogen. I'm so sorry. I lift my head, not believing my ears. But there is Tristan, crouched right before me. Still that same ghostly projection. Still with floating wisps of silver light at his edges. But his mouth moves, and I can hear him speak. With a desperate lurch, I reach out for his shoulder, his arm, anything, but my hand goes right through him and my fingers connect with nothing but air. There's no way back, he says again in a whisper, with a slow, sad smile, and I burst into tears. There's so much I want to say, but I just can't get out the words. We'll be together again one day, Imogen, he says to me, his words soft and low. But for you, the rain still falls. You must go on. He smiles and he reaches into his pocket. He withdraws the ghostly rose he has there. He gently passes it to me, and it holds for a moment in my hand. Ethereal and beautiful, and when I look up he has gone. The rose fades a moment later. The specters depart. One by one they drift quietly away. And as the rain falls, I begin the long walk back to my apartment. So it goes. Asterisk. I never saw Tristan again. The sequence of his final moments never played from that night on. No ghostly shows. I went to check the spot a few times, but his death has passed at last, it would seem. The dance is done. The specters are still around, though, when I care to look for them. Sometimes I even follow them, just to see where they will lead. Sometimes they take me back to the sites of the people I saved. Sometimes to nowhere in particular. Sometimes back to my own apartment, and sometimes they lead me out from the city. I walk all night, and they lead me far and away, all the way to the coast, and then disappear as the sun rises over the ocean. Tristan always loved the ocean. And sometimes, if I return to that bus stop at just the right time, if I position myself in just the right place in the road, then the ghostly rose returns to my hand. And I hold it gently, just for a minute or two, just as long as I need.